I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Check the step.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton, that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
3rd and long, it's Newton. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 17 carries, 112 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
And he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10.
Ready. 6-man. Check cross.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And getting our first update now from Nashville. The Jets out to the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Looking sideline, incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times, ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A first down throw for Cousins. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
56, the mark, boy, 56. Check 56.
They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now Cousins. And he's got his man. It's Darbo. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. This is Breida. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Gets past one man. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 17, Cousins. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Cobb to return. Escapes the defender.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
These two teams all tied after one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Breida. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Newton. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Atlanta now coming out on the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins now. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing, Cousins drops it off for Chubb. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Break it set. Right here. You.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Newton looking for Cooper. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Here's Newton. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Newton to throw. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Falcon territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Trey Flowers there on the tackle. Now it's Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw is Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well.
Well, they gave the 60-yarder a try, didn't make it, and now they're in a tough position defensively. This offense has it in midfield. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. James has got it. Complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
It's complete to Grant. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Cousins now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Cousins again. That's going to be caught by Richardson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. First chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Let's go, baby.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll bring up second down. To throw is Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Again, it's Cousins. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it. And as a defense, I've been in that spot before, and we see it all the time. You almost have to overcommit against the run. You have to almost sell out and say, they're going to run it, go make a play. They got fooled on that one.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A 10-play drive that time. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Joseph now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Only 3 there on the screen at second down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on second down. Newton. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now it's Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. From the gun on third down, Newton. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check 56. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Rush in.
They go with Chubb on second down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Cousins on 3rd and 2. And James has it. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. 3rd down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. A nice pickup there. 18 yards. 1st down Falcons.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Cousins to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
A 29-yard attempt.
The kick by Joseph is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Ready? 180! Right 54! Ready?
On 2nd and 12, Newton. It's caught. Cooper. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
First down, Lions.
Now Newton on first down. And that is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, but it's going to be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They go counter with Breida, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Stephen Hauschka on for the field goal. A 6-yard attempt.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely at midfield. Cousins now. Little short pass to James, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. A run for Nick Chubb, and he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Now Chubb. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 18-yard line. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Ready? Mike 91. I don't think you got it, son.
On first down, it's Newton. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Newton. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Running for it. Here's Anderson. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th and short. They had the ball right at the midfield stripe. Was curious what they were going to do. Turns out going for it, the good play.
Reminded me of a conversation we had yesterday before this game where you said, it's interesting about the NFL nowadays. Oftentimes in short yardage situations, they throw the ball. In the old days, they would run it. That was an old school call right there.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Newton on first down. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 12-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They run with Breida. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Newton now to throw. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Matt Breida, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything in the end result, the short touchdown run. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Hauschka with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This one taken from the 7. Now a hit and a loose football. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Here we go.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That goes for a gain of 31.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Newton to throw. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matt Breida with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, That's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Hauschka adds the extra point, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. He's going to air one out. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 33 yards that time.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. He's got that one complete to Darbo. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. They run. Chubb. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And again, it's Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So the field goal unit is on a big spot right here. The kick by Joseph is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. He juked him. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Newton. And Allen's got it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Anderson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check, check. Block 54. Block 54. 3 bud.
Now it's Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Amari Cooper. 39 yards. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 5, a little over a minute and a half remaining. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Cousins. They set up the screen to Chubb. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Back to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and that'll make it 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw, and that will be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
4th down, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions looking like they're going to come away with a victory. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Now a give to Breida. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the attention on the Falcons offense. Trailing in this one now. 35 seconds to go. And they've got to travel the full 75 yards. And time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Complete. Richardson has it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for the Lions, it's a rare bright spot as they move to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.